Ja, det kommer ju rätt gott.
Hello, hello everyone. And this is to the fan community of Andrew Hannon and the creators of this series of short stories, 13. I am going to attempt to read the message and the dare and follow the consequences and the rules. As can be clearly noticed, it says in this volume that we are not allowed to read this in Italy. So, to confirm that this is not Italy, this is actually Iceland. And as can be clearly noticed here, the thing is that it is not allowed to read this in Italy because that may result in your arrest. Unless, of course, if you are already dead and you are a ghost. In that sense, nobody can arrest you. But I can confirm right now that I'm alive and that this is definitely not Italy, so there should be no problem with that. I greatly respect and admire the rules of this simple book and its amazingly powerful and highly effective stories. These are some of the best and most cleverly written horror stories I have ever had the opportunity to read. And why do I like 13? Why do I like stories like One Night in the Graveyard? This story is about letting go, and that's one of my favorite themes in life. There are some other interesting stories here, such as Shift, but those stories are of course not the main ones. The main ones, the most famous ones, are the magic and the dare, because like all the other stories, they possess a very rare power that stories in general and very, very good stories do possess. Like that of the now famous film Criticized, which in my opinion is without doubt the single best horror film I have seen at least in years. But it's not produced by anyone associated with these stories or this book. But the reason for why I am mentioning Criticized as a movie in relation to this book is because the effect of reading these stories has had similar impact on me. You don't know what is going to happen to you when you read from this. And the reason for why people become so afraid when they read from the magic and when they read from the air is because they put themselves into the shoes of not just the main character, which is themselves, but the author, whose name is Darren York. It doesn't matter whether Darren York is a human or not. What matters is the experience that you have for yourself upon following the rules. And as can be clearly noticed, I have started to shake, because that's natural when you are reading from something like that, like this, and I love that. I'm very thankful for that, because I want this to have the kind of effect it's supposed to have on the reader. Now, have you ever read something and enjoyed it so much you wished you would never read it just so you could read it again for the first time? The first time is magical, right? It does not matter how many times you read it, again, it's never quite as good. This is your chance to read something truly amazing for the first time. You will only get this chance once, so don't blow it. I want you to get the most out of this. So you are going to have to trust me, do exactly as you're told. If you are not alone right now, then put this away immediately. Magic, the real magic, is shy of company. You're alright. I'm supposed to be alone, so I'm going to have to back away a little bit. So while I'm doing it, otherwise I have to throw this away. As Master Darren York says, you have to be alone, so we have to be alone. Okay? If you are not alone right now, then put this away immediately. I can't put this away immediately. I recently bought it, so I have got no other choice than being alone. There is nobody else in this beautiful, fantastic graveyard in Gravarvogur neighborhood in Iceland. Now, magic, real magic, is shy of company. It's not going to happen if you are reading this in a crowded coffee shop or sat on a packed train. Only read from here if you are alone. And what better place to read this and be alone than doing it in a graveyard, or presumably in some haunted house, which I tried to do an hour ago. It's not okay. It's not going to happen if you're eating this in a crowded coffee shop or sat on a packed train, as can be clearly understood. Only read from here if you're alone. So I am absolutely alone now. Good, we have started. Now I need you to do a few more things for me. Just a few small things. Think of this as an instruction manual. A process you have to follow if you want the thing to work. I am not trying to be pushy or boss you around just for the sake of it. I just want this to work for you. You want this to work for me because I am reading the story, because this is about life, and this is as close you can possibly get to your definition of reality. Go somewhere you can close the door behind you and read this without being disturbed. It doesn't matter where. Your bedroom will do, or a toilet, anywhere you can go without someone walking in on you. And like I said, close the door after you. This is a graveyard, and this is about as lonely place as it can possibly be. Maybe some of you are reading this and haven't done as you have been instructed. Do you wish you had played along? I guarantee you it's better to be part of this than to simply eavesdrop on the magic. It might not be too late though. I can't promise anything, but if you go to a quiet place now, I'll close the door. I will see what I can do. There is no noise here but that of the birds. Maybe some of you are reading this and have not done as you have been instructed. Do you wish you had played along? I guarantee you it's better to be part of this than to simply eavesdrop on the magic. It might not be too late though. I can't promise anything, but if you go to a quiet place now and close the door, I will see what I can do. So I chose to go to this graveyard. So here we are, or rather, there you are. I really hope you are enjoying this so far. I know nothing has actually happened yet, but aren't you excited? Of course I am. Is your curiosity growing larger and larger? Of course, it's natural. Enjoy this. This is the only time you can feel what you are feeling now, which is me. The wonder of what's going to happen, the present, the now, the half-formed conclusions some of you may already have made. All of this can only happen once. Can only happen now. Can only happen the first time. Some of the magic has begun already. You are alone in the room. True. but you are also unified with all the people who have ever done this before you, and all of those who will do it after you. Can you feel each other? I do. I'm a very feeling person. Perhaps you feel silly about this whole thing. I don't. I don't want to feel silly about this. Or maybe you feel privileged. Well, I undoubtedly feel a little bit privileged. You are each part of an invisible crowd, gathered together outside of time, reading the same words. Why outside of time? It's a mainstream media construct, fellows. It's not something that is that real. Don't worry, that's not the punch of it. The certainty is a joke. This is very serious. I am not here to waste your time with talk of the metaphysical. Me neither. So my apologies about my time bullshit. And to prove it, we will move on. I take it here in light of your chosen room, in this case, my chosen graveyard. Or you will not be able to read this, right? Come on, you can answer me if I ask you a question. In fact, you have to answer me if you want this to work. I will ask you again. Answer this time, loud and clear. Don't be afraid, just say, right. Now, everybody, let's all play along. All I want is one little spoken word in exchange for all the words I have given you so far. Remember, I am doing this for you. This is the only chance you will get, and I want you to work. Answer my question. Well done. You might have felt silly, I did not, saying it aloud, but there is nobody here to hear you, and what harm has been done. Now you can continue to enjoy this, knowing that you have followed the instructions perfectly. And when you follow instructions perfectly, things tend to work. Do whatever it takes to get your room as dark as possible. In this case, I just have to wait for for the dusk to settle down, so that there is just enough light for you to still make out these words. To draw the curtains closed, turn off the main light and put on a side light. I chose a graveyard, not a room, because in the graveyard I will feel less comfortable than in a room. Better still, light a candle or lead with a flame from a cigarette lighter. I am using the dusk here and the natural light that is coming from the Earth's inner sun. As you can clearly notice, this planet does not revolve around the sun. It has got a sun inside of itself, and that is why we have this fantastic sunlight. The mainstream media hasn't told you a lot about this, but a friend of mine told me in a lecture that there used to be a lot of talk about this 100 or so years ago. I hate to keep reminding you, I am okay with that, but it really will be worth if you do as I say, and I agree with him. It would be such a shame for you to miss out having already come as far as you have. Allow me to describe your scene. That's kind of strange, isn't it? Oh yeah. Shall we take a moment to consider that? Usually when you read something, the scene is described for you so that you can picture it in your mind. But here you are reading your very own scene. My scene. I am not reading your scene. So if you want to see some fantasy sunlight coming from someplace else than the Earth's center, so be it. In which you are sat in a dark room, all alone, the darkness here has already increased. You may not notice it slightly, but I do. Reading from wherever you changed upon this magic. What mighty implications. When you were younger, did you ever pretend to yourself you were a character in a book? Oh yeah, I did that all the time. Or in a film, absolutely, especially the Jaws movie. I love to see myself as being the shark. Did you ever pretend to yourself that you were a character in a book or a film and that millions of people read about you and watched what you did? I did, and what most people think was I felt unashamed. I even wrote stories about it. Perhaps the pretense was real. Don't worry though, that's not the message I spoke earlier. Of course not. It's merely some attempt to grasp what's going on, and it has got to be that way. And I'm taking it very, very seriously. Enjoy this moment. Here it comes the magic. Very quickly, get up off your bed, or chair, or place against the wall. I'm not helping any wall here, so I'm going to place myself against this rock. Yeah. Ooh. And run over the door. You closed behind you a few minutes ago. Put your ear against the door and listen. Hold your breath. I wonder if you can hear me. The slightly autistic among you may have already registered the first letters of the last 5 paragraphs and what they spell. It's the closest to a name. Now, what did I find out upon reading this important gentleman's name? I found out the term Darth York, except for K, there was Q, and I also found out 2 other terms closely associated with his name: devil and evil. And that means I, in all probability, belong to at least some of this lightly autistic among these gentlemen's readers, and I am okay with that, because I know how to control most of the autistic symptoms without any need for some antipsychotic drug crap. Do you hear me breathe? I do. I can clearly hear this guy breathe. It says properly, can you hear me breathe? Oh yes. No? what if he is breathing and I may be hearing it mentally? Or if I am actually hearing it? That's why I am inclined to say yes when he asks me in the story, can you hear me? I have to say yes, to be honest. No, perhaps I am holding my breath too. No, he wasn't. I could clearly hear him, at least in this case, with an ear pressed up against the door, trying to hear you. He doesn't have to be around physically. Or perhaps there is one last step, one last instruction you must follow in order to make this magic work. Invite me in. Oh yes, Mr. Darren York, you are welcome to be part of my life. Feel comfortable whenever you are around me. Come on now, don't be bashful. You already spoke to me earlier when you answered my question about the light. All you have to do is ask me to come in. Come on in. You see? I know you are alone in there, all by yourself in the dark, and I want to prove to you that the magic works. Because all magic is transference of energy. That is what all magic is, and that is why I love these stories, and why I love what I'm doing here, and why I am scared shitless right now, which is only natural. Because I'm in that kind of story, I am in that kind of environment, and the darkness has increased. Now I am going to perform the dare by the same author. It's going to get a little bit more serious now. Some of you will already know me from the magic. I feel I know him from some time before. I am not exactly sure when. I just feel I have known him for a while, since before I heard his name. It's just a gut feeling. The rest of you, I guess this is the first time you have had the pleasure, and I had immense pleasure. For the first timers, let me explain something to you very briefly and get you up to speed with all of this and know it's going to work. Next time I'm going to try this in a room so that it will be in an intense atmosphere. I would have done that an hour ago, but the house that was picked up turned out to have been closed, so graveyard was chosen as the perfect location. I set challenge for people. Anyone who doesn't is an absolute idiot. Arrest them for refusing to set challenges for others. Little dares for the brave, curious or foolish to try. I repeat, little dares for the brave, curious or foolish to try. You are going to be a real man or woman in your life. You have got to set a challenge for someone else. If you don't, you shouldn't be behind bars. You should not be allowed to roam free. Freedom is supposed to be about challenging other people, especially yourself. Otherwise, you know nothing about freedom. In that case, you shouldn't be arrested. If you play along all the way to the end, then you win. But if you just read the words like you are reading any old story, you failed. I am certainly not reading this like I am reading any old story. I am reading this like I am reading a very, very new story that is are very, very dear to my heart. And you are wasting your time. This will only work if you do exactly as you're told. Any feeling of disappointment you get if you read but don't play along will be entirely attributable to you. This would have been especially true if I had tried this in Italy. I will say it myself and save you the bother. This story will not be scary if you don't participate. I'm participating, so it's scary as hell. It will not terrify you if you don't play along. It will not freak you out if you don't give it a shot. In fact, it will bore you. It is certainly not boring me. You may as well go and read that nutritional information on your cereal box instead. My judgment on the ability of this story to petrify is invalid if you have not been brave enough to attempt it there. I have got the experience in these things, believe me, and I feel right now that Dan New York is watching me. I have seen it all before. You have got your quick counter downloaders. I feel that counter is not very much about in this thing. I am far more comfortable with an actual physical book, which I can smell, touch, and even taste. But I'm not going to attempt to do that with this one. It's enough for me to just touch it and smell it. And I can feel the smell, and I like the smell, which means that I am even far more terrified now than I was before I tried first to begin. Because when people smell the unknown, which this is about, they become totally terrified. So I'm actually quite petrified. I have got the experience in three things. Believe me, I have seen it done before. And before that, there is any adjustment on the ability of the story to petrify, as I have said already. If you have not been brave enough to attempt, it's invalid if you have not been brave enough to attempt it yet. In other words, if I'm going to want this story to scare the hell out of me, now in my crappy dumbass errors here, then I'm going to have to play along the rules, which I have obviously been doing here. Otherwise, I will not be totally petrified. I have got the experience in these things, believe me. I have seen it done before. You have got your quick counter downloaders of the magic who feel that they haven't been terrified even though they didn't know the very basic instructions. Why you can get out of your freeloaders who leave through 31 in the bookshops and the libraries, so eager to see what the fuss is all about. That name is the night. Just so everyone is sinking from the same hymn shit. So what is to work? Play along and try it. It doesn't matter if you are 16 or 66. The rules apply to everybody the same. This is it. It's for adults. So if you excuse yourself from participating in the challenge on some kind of self-instructed seniority complex, then I am telling you now, you want to do for yourself. Ready? Can't do If you don't, you will be dusted. We are going on a little trip. And this time on the night basic, you don't need to be alone for it to work. The more the merrier. Weaknesses are good. We are going to attempt to continue to read it there. So stop here, and then we have step 1. I need you to speak to a friend or two. Säger att jag är en annan nu. Men jag kan inte med mig. Okej. I'll loyal witness to myself participating in the or attempting to read it there by Darth Vindex. So step 1, I need you to speak to a friend or two. You can show them the story up to this point.
Okay.
Or just generally convey it to them the following. I want to see if I am brave enough to try it there. It's meant to be freaky. I would like you to come with me to try it. It will take us as long as it takes us to get to the nearest graveyard, such as this one. Then no more than 10 minutes. This took about slightly less than 10 minutes. Arrange the date that was done yesterday, at the time done yesterday, to meet. Early evening is best, and this about an hour ago was early evening. Then you, as the instigator, must prepare the following for step 2. A small back rucksack into which you place a box of matches, a small mirror, a pen, a single sheet of blank paper, this book, or some print out of it there. Once you have put everything into the bag, make sure you make your way to the graveyard and only read on from this paragraph once you arrive there. Personally, I'm going to have to rearrange the time. You can you can film if you like, just in case people don't believe you have done this all the way to the end. I didn't feel like needing to take a bag or a rucksack because I live in a city, into which I will place a box of matches, a small mirror, a pen, a single sheet of black paper, but I can do it anytime I want. And if I want to, I can do it either later this night or tomorrow night, so nothing has per se failed here. Interlude, you should make it to the graveyard. I and my friend did. Everybody you asked showed up. Very good. I hope you are in and at the graveyard. If you are reading this and not sat in your bedroom reading it on the computer because you want to scared to try it. If you are, you should just skip it. It won't do anything for you. if bad news are your thing, try the magic. I tried, but I felt that this would be more intense this way. Let's continue. Step 3. Don't make a nuisance of yourself. As organizer, tell your little group to be on their best behavior. So far there is no little group with me, so I guess this is a preparatory video for another video where we will in all probability be 3 in number, probably either in the beginning or later on in May month. Så vil jeg håpe. Her prøver vi å undermelde.
Skal du slå?